Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Let us begin with the biggest news of the day. We learned early on Monday that Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints had reached an agreement on a contract. That was reported by Diana Rossini and Adam Schefter and others. And then Derek Carr seemed to confirm it with a tweet. Very simple. A video of Tyrann Mathieu leading the Who Dat chant. And he simply tweeted the words, Who Dat, with the fleur-de-lis. So since that on Monday morning, we have now gotten confirmation from the New Orleans Saints as they have made it official. The Saints have officially announced the signing of Derek Carr with a welcome to New Orleans post on all of their social media. Derek Carr donning a Saints uniform. And a lot of the terms of the deal have been coming out here as well, which we'll get to in a moment. So, a lot of you, I'm certain, are expecting me to do one of the angry, red-faced rant things today. And I'm not going to do that. At least I don't intend to do that. I may raise my voice a bit, but that remains to be seen. And I want to start by being so abundantly clear how I feel about Derek Carr, the player, in 2023. Okay, because that's where I need to start. So there's no misgivings about what it is that I am saying. Because I was very adamantly opposed to the Saints trading for Derek Carr, giving up assets to take on a bad contract for an aging player. I was adamantly opposed to that. I was okay with the Saints signing Derek Carr at the right price. So I'll get to that. First, Derek Carr is a better option at quarterback in 2023 than anything else that was realistically at the Saints' disposal. Derek Carr in 2023 is a better option than Andy Dalton. Derek Carr in 2023 is a better option than Jameis Winston. Derek Carr in 2023 is a better option than Baker Mayfield or Hendon Hooker or anyone else they would draft or Jimmy Garoppolo or any other of the mediocre quarterback hodgepodge that's been bouncing around the league with a lot of the names that we have talked about over the last several weeks, okay? Of the realistic options in 2023, Derek Carr is better than all of them, okay? On the field. Are we clear about that? I think Derek Carr makes the Saints in 2023 a better football team. And there are some positives about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a 4-time Pro Bowler. He has been to the playoffs twice, in 2016 and in 2021. He had 4 consecutive years of throwing for over 4,000 yards. That streak stopped this year when he didn't play the final 2 games of the season when he was benched. Had he played those final 2 games, he would have gone over 4,000 yards, so that would have been 5 straight seasons of over 5,000 yards. So there's a lot of stuff there to like about Derek Carr. Also, before I go any further, I understand fully that in order to have nice things, you have to be willing to pay for nice things. If you live in a place with dilapidated buildings and crappy roads, but nobody wants to pay money to fix the roads and build new buildings, you're going to have crappy roads and bad buildings. You want nice things? You got to be willing to spend money. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with spending money on a great quarterback because without a great quarterback, you're not winning at a high level in the NFL. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you should have no problem paying Patrick Mahomes $450 million over 10 years. If you're the Green Bay Packers and you gave Aaron Rodgers that contract a year ago, giving him $50 million, you should have no problem with that. He's an elite level quarterback that's going to put you closer to winning a championship, okay? Whatever Jacksonville is going to pay Trevor Lawrence or the Chargers are going to pay Justin Herbert, you should be okay with it because you got a great quarterback and you got to pay to have it. I'm good with that. Again, a year ago, the Saints were in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Cleveland gave Deshaun Watson $230 million. I would have been perfectly fine with the Saints giving Deshaun Watson that exact contract. Now, you could laugh and say all the off-the-field stuff, fine, but as far as on the field as a player, I would have been perfectly fine with that. Because with Deshaun Watson, I could have believed the Saints would win another Super Bowl. I do not believe that with Derek Carr, and that's my problem. The real question, for me anyway, is what is your goal, and can Derek Carr get you there? If your goal is, hey, we want to win games and we want to make the playoffs and, kind of be in the mix and be relevant, Derek Carr can get you there. If your goal is to win the second Super Bowl in this franchise's history, Derek Carr cannot get you there. I will definitively say that today. For as long as Derek Carr is the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints will not win a Super Bowl, period. It's 3:08 Central Time on Monday, March the 6th. Clip it, Muse. And if I'm wrong, play it 100 times and laugh at me. No one would be more excited to be wrong because it means the Saints would have won a Super Bowl. But here's what I know about Derek Carr. I know that last season, Derek Carr finished with 3,522 passing yards. That was the third lowest mark of his career. He had 24 touchdowns and 14 interceptions, tied for the most in a single season of his career. He completed 60.8% of his passes. That was the lowest in his career. He had an 86.3 passer rating, also a career low. And that was after they added Davante Adams. Yeah, the Davante Adams, who was Carr's college teammate, best friend, and oh, by the way, happened to be arguably the best receiver in the NFL, playing with Aaron Rodgers, decided to go to Las Vegas to play with his best friend, and Carr had the worst season of his career. You have an aging quarterback who, the team that drafted him and knows him best, just kicked him to the curb. And you gave him $150 million. That's my problem. If you go back to the point about what is your goal, take it away from sports. Look at it like retirement planning. And this is what, and the reason I bring that up is because retirement planning involves risk. What is your risk tolerance, right? Are you going to be super aggressive or super conservative or somewhere in the middle? What's your risk tolerance? And nobody can answer that question but you. So that's going to be different for everybody. So there literally isn't a right or a wrong. It's just what is your risk tolerance? And that's to each individual person. If you're 55 years old and you're nearing retirement, you're probably going to be risk averse. You've got your nest egg built. You can see the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're probably not going to try to do something super risky that compromises your retirement. If you're 25 years old and you're playing the long game, you can take some home run swings. So it varies based on the person, and it varies based on the club. When I look at the New Orleans Saints with Derek Carr, they are not winning a Super Bowl. They're going to be the best team in a bad NFC South. They'll probably make the wild card and lose in the wild card round. And some of you may say, great. Look, they were above 500. They won the division. They went to the playoffs. That's way better than watching a 3-14 football team. And I agree with you. In a single season vacuum, watching a team go 10-7 and make the playoffs and lose in the wild card round is better than watching a team go 3-14. But did that 10-7 actually get you closer to winning a championship? And I don't believe that's the case with Derek Carr. And when I go back to the retirement example. Are you okay retiring at age 70 on a fixed income of $1,500 a month? Is that the lifestyle you want? If you do, great. Cheers. Or would you rather walk at 55 with $15 million in the bank and do whatever you want? Well, there's no guarantee that the risk you take, the investment you make, is going to hit that home run. There's no guarantee that when you draft the quarterback that it's going to be Joe Burrow, that it's going to be Josh Allen, that it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. It could be Zach Wilson. It could be Mitchell Trubisky. Could be. But the point is, what's your risk tolerance? Because if you're drafting a quarterback, you have the potential to have no glass ceiling. With Derek Carr, your floor is higher. Your floor is higher with Derek Carr. Undeniably, your floor is higher, but your ceiling is lower. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. As a Saints fan, I don't want the perpetual 9-8, 10-7, make the playoffs, lose in round one. I want to see my team win a championship again. And it's not going to happen with Derek Carr. and for a team that is the most fiscally irresponsible team in the NFL, yes, they can make it work. They'll manipulate the cap and manipulate the numbers, but now what you've done is you put Derek Carr on your books for the next 5 years, and when you look at the numbers for this contract and what it's going to mean moving forward, that you're going to have a backloaded contract. So the further along Derek Carr's career he gets, the closer he gets to 40, he's going to count more and more against your cap, and it's going to put you in a bigger predicament in 2025 and 2026, and when he's got dead cap money in 2027 when he's not on the team anymore, and you're still going to have him counting against the cap. You are only prolonging the inevitable with what you're doing right now with Derek Carr. Are you going to win games? Yes, you're going to win games. Are you going to win championships? Absolutely not, and that's my biggest problem right now. I'll go back to it. The team that knew him best, the team that's had him for 9 years, the team that's invested in him, built around him, made him their franchise, just kicked him to the curb. Why? Because they knew. They knew the floor is high, but the ceiling is low. And that's okay for some people. It's not good enough for everyone. And the problem right now is that low ceiling but high floor is where the Saints exist with Derek Carr. And I have a problem with that. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.